Hello, hello. My name is Sharp Eyes, and welcome to another episode of WeCast, where we cast and you play. Today we're going to be doing a bit of coaching, and let's go ahead and get our student on the line here. His name is Thomas. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? I'm actually coming to you live right now, so let's get started with the coaching session.
All
Now,
right.
Thomas, what race do you play and why?
Uh, I play Zerg. Um, why? I have no idea. I've been playing Zerg since Brood War. That's pretty much it.
Hmm.
Well, it's easy to macro for me, in my opinion.
Oh, I see. So you like the macro heavy style
Yeah,
of Zerg?
yeah, definitely. And it's like definitely easy to switch tech and um, such.
Gotcha. What is your best matchup and what is your worst matchup?
Um, I think I have the most trouble against Terran, but statistically, I'm best against Terran.
Hmm.
But statistically, it says that I'm worse against Zerg, CBZ.
Oh, I see. Hmm.
Yeah,
Ye-
it's weird. I yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and watch the first replay that you sent us, Zerg versus Zerg. So statistically, you said that you were good in ZVZ.
Um, no, statistically, it's the worst.
Oh, okay.
But I, in confidence wise, I feel worse playing against Terran. But I seem to win against them the most with a 56% win rate versus 52 versus Zerg.
Oh, I see. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, so you're in the lobby. Let's go ahead and launch the game. So in Zerg versus Zerg, what unit composition do you usually go for now?
Um, I realize that a lot of people, uh, you know, get really fast Zerglings out. So, um, these days I'm usually going 15 pool and then hatch, but I've been getting cheese a lot lately, so I've been going 13 pool these days against CBZ.
Oh,
Mostly
okay,
Zerglings and Bailings.
gotcha. Yeah, a 15 pool is not safe versus cheese, and so um,
Yeah,
being that most or a lot of Zerg players tend to go for early pools and 10 pools or 8 pools. A 13 pool is actually really safe, so good call on that.
yeah, yeah. It's really annoying because like I think I consider myself as a macro player.
Right.
Yeah, so this early Zerglings attack, I really struggle against.
Oh, I see. So do you never cheese pretty much?
Yeah, I never do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've never done six spool in my life. Yeah, the early spool I've gone was a 13. Yeah, probably.
Okay, so let's see here. Go for hatch here. Gas
Yeah,
first.
yeah. I decided to go with gas because it's a ZVZ, and I feel like I'm gonna need the speed early.
Gotcha. Yeah. Versus Zerg, I usually go a 14 gas into a 14 pool. Then I expand shortly after that. Do you pull drones off gas or no?
Um, pardon?
Do you Do you pull your drones after, or sorry, do you pull your drones out of your extractor or no?
No. Like
Okay,
on ZVZ, I know
that's
I
good.
like I know I'm gonna need Bailings, so I usually don't pull them out.
Yeah, a lot of Zerg players make the mistake of pulling drones out of the extractor in ZVZ because versus other races you're supposed to. But yeah, so
Yeah,
kudos to you.
yeah. I mean, sometimes I leave one drone in there, and I would have enough for a layer later pretty soon. Yeah.
Let's see. So right here, what are you thinking right now? Are you trying to put on some pressure, or just trying to distract him a little bit?
Um, Mostly I just wanted to know what, like how he, why he's got. That's what I was mainly trying to figure out. Um, Seeing if he has like a second base, natural.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, seeing if there were drones on there, just to figure out if I'm too behind or not.
And when was this latter game played?
I think like a week or so ago.
Week or so ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the new metagame has shifted into whoever can transition to roaches faster.
Really?
So yeah, so in the future maybe trying to roach up sooner.
Okay.
But yeah, so like banelings are really good versus these early attacks, but in order to establish dominance, you really want to get roaches at around the 9 to 10 minute mark.
Nine or 10.
Yeah.
Like have them out by 9 or 10.
Um. Yeah. So like start pumping that by then.
Uh, I see.
Yeah,
With
so
with a with a with a third base at 7 o'clock. I mean, not 7 o'clock. By 7 minutes.
oh, nice bailing attack. Yeah. So pretty much you want to try to get that third still, but with a new metagame, it's not necessary since it's gonna be roach heavy. So you should always try to get that third base by 8 minutes. But if you can't, then just go ahead and put pressure on your opponent with roaches, lings, and banelings until you can.
I see. Yeah. So the metagame isn't Ultralisk anymore.
Nope. The metagame changed from mutas to roaches.
I see. Yeah.
Okay. Really good micro. Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that
Big
was.
loss there, but
Yeah, I really like that you burrow these veilings in pairs.
yeah.
Very smart idea.
Yeah, it was the first time I ever done a burrowed bailing stuff. Yeah, I just thought about this like for the first time, and I was like, "Hey, it would be an awesome idea."
Yep, and it definitely paid off for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, so your opponent this
Being
game,
paused.
he never saturated his main base, and
I see.
so pretty much your macro was just way better than his, and your income is way better than his, almost double here. Well, not quite, but it adds up over time. So yeah, good job on the constant pressure. I think that if your opponent had saturated his main base, like things might have gone differently. But yeah, so pretty much do what you're doing now, but try to transition to roaches a little bit sooner.
I see. Alright.
Yep. And Zerg versus Zerg is actually one of the more coin flippy matchups currently. So, not too much analysis can be done.
Hmm.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go on to the next replay.
Let's see. Yeah. I mean, as long as I saw that the national wasn't being saturated, I knew I was safe to just keep producing Zerglings and keep putting pressure on.
Yep, yep. Did you notice that his main was not saturated or?
Main, no, I didn't know about the main.
Yeah, like sometimes it's hard to get a scout in there because queens counter that stuff. But try to put like an overlord at the edge of his base to peek in there and see how many gases he has and whether or not he's saturated or not. Because I mean if because like from looking at his base, he only had like I think 11 drones on mineral and 3 on gas, but interestingly enough, he didn't produce that many banelings. So I think that was a pretty big misplay on his part.
Hmm.
But naturally, um, if he was continually mining and was saturated, then you definitely expect roaches. Alright, let's go ahead and watch this game.
Yeah, this is probably the worst game I ever played in my life because I thought I had a huge lead.
Hmm.
Yep. This map is not as huge as Whirlwind, is it?
Looks to be about the same, I think. Although I've personally never played on this map because I've heard very bad things about it. So,
Yeah, I vetoed this one
yep.
after losing three in a row on this map.
Yeah, sometimes with the new maps, some of them are just really bad. Like that last season, we had Clantis Myra, I think. It was pretty terrible. Okay.
Don't you have isn't there another guy doing this lesson as well?
Yeah, so usually Crucifix is my co-coach, but tonight he went to bed early, so it is just me for tonight. See, so do you usually go for an early
Game
gas versus
paused.
Protoss?
Um, no, it's just I just always go gas.
Game resumed.
Oh, okay.
Is that not good?
Well, going going gas is really good versus Zerg. It's amazing versus Terran, but it's bad versus Protoss. Reason being is that you don't really need gas this early on. Th- um,
Game paused.
this early on, you want to be droning as hard as possible because usually, I mean, Protoss will either gateway expand or forge fast expand, and if they're forged fast expanding, then you pretty much can't really break into the wall even with speedlings. If they're forge, if they're gateway expanding, then those lings might be helpful, but you can delay this zergling speed until about the um, the 6 minute mark or so. So
Game
what I would do
resumed.
personally versus Protoss is I would 14 pool and then 15 hatch, and then wait until the 6 minute mark, and then get gases then.
Gas at 6.
Yeah, and when you get gases, get 2 to 3 gases.
Two to three.
Yeah, depending on what you want to do, whether that's quick tech or Zergling aggro into roaches, pretty much.
Mm. Yeah, I've been going pretty much gas first, like on every single matches I've done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's really good versus Terran and Zerg, but not so much versus Protoss, because you're not able to capitalize on that Zergling speed early on.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there's no way I can break this, and
See, also, I think in Zerg versus Protoss,
Game
you
paused.
really want to get an early third base. Um, let's go ahead and go to the Protoss vision here. So, yeah. Hmm. Okay. So you pretty much want to get a third base at around the 410 mark. Um, and pretty much what that's gonna do is it's gonna force your opponent to either try to kill it or fall very far behind because you can produce so much more drones and get so much more minerals with an early third base versus Protoss. And most of the time Protoss will force fast expand. So they honestly can't punish you unless they dedicate some resources to that,
wait,
which puts them further behind.
Game resumed.
wait, okay. So against Protoss, I should go up to 4 bases before 10-minute mark.
No. So what you do is you expand
Game paused.
first at 15, and then at around 410, take your third base, and then watch what the Protoss does. So basically, try to saturate all three bases first and foremost. Maybe toss like one spine at each if you're afraid of zealot harass. But pretty much if the Protoss stays on two base, then you stay on three bases and then crush him. If he takes a third base or tries to, you have two options. You can either try to kill his third base or take a fourth. At the platinum level, I would probably recommend trying to take out his third base because even if you have a fourth base, three base Protoss at the platinum level is still pretty tough to fight. I mean, they have Colossi, they have High Templar, random DTs and Archons. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Game resumed.
Yeah, so you took your third base here at a normal time, um, which is all right. But if you would have taken that at around the 410 mark, you would have been far ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally I try to go for 7-minute mark.
Yeah. So
Game paused.
I have a question. Did you see these phoenixes coming, or or did they just like run in and then ruin your day?
Um. Well, I don't know if I scattered it. I don't. I don't remember if I scattered out the Stargate or not,
hmm
but I did produce quite a few phoenixes.
Hmm. Okay.
But when I saw them, I think I saw them at when they passed by my third.
Gotcha. Yeah. So versus Protoss, I mean, like your opponent only has one Stargate up, I think. Yeah, one Stargate. And he has quite a bit of Phoenixes out. So basically the Protoss player can easily um, go air. And so what you can do is fly in and Overlord at around the 7 minute mark to check it out, or preemptively toss up one Spore Crawler at each base because you're gonna want one at each base anyway. Come late game because of the Dark Templar warpins. So what I would do is if you find yourself at around the 7 or 8 minute mark, toss up one Spore Crawler at each mineral line.
Game
Where should I
resumed.
put it? Like in the middle of the lines, or
So
Game
you should put
paused.
it right between your hatch and your mineral line.
okay? Does it affect the mining at all?
Um, it affects the mining a very tiny bit, but if it's just one, and if it's right in the middle, then it doesn't really truly matter enough for it to make a difference. Because if you put your spore collar behind the mineral line, then it's a little bit too far, and the phoenixes can simply
Yeah.
pick up your queen. If you put it um, to the opposite of the mineral line, then you know your mineral line can get harassed. So the best spot would be right there between both. Yep.
Mhm.
Game resumed.
Yeah, I never put my spore crawlers between the mineral lines and the hatchery. It's like I would fear that I would slow down my economy.
Oh yeah. But honestly, worst case scenario, you can always just move them around. So if you find that the Protoss doesn't have pixels anymore, then you can just move it to the back of your mineral line. But you
Game paused.
you pretty much have to anticipate them coming between 7 and 9 minutes usually.
Game resumed.
So right now he's doing quite a bit of damage.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Game paused.
if you find that you've forgotten to toss up a spore collar, as soon as you see these sphinxes, just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Game resumed.
Yeah. One thing that I struggle the most, I guess, would be harassment from Terran and Protoss.
Oh,
Dealing
I
with
see.
drops. These days with hell that drops. Pretty tough.
Yeah. So versus Terran,
Game paused.
just toss up two spine crawlers. One one behind your mineral line and one in front of your mineral line, and then when someone drops you, use your queen to target down the drop ship while the two spine crawlers kill the hellbats. And also you can use two queens also.
Let's see.
Game resumed.
Yeah. I'm on 3 days, he's on 2 days.
So
Game
I noticed
paused.
here that your gas count's really high. Were you planning to tech to something gas intensive or
Um, no, right now is looking to pump out a lot of hydras,
Oh, okay.
but I think I had a lot of gas to begin with.
Hmm. So pretty much I noticed that your bases weren't fully saturated maybe 2 minutes ago, and so but your gas count was really high. So what you would usually want to do there is you want to transfer some of your gas workers to minerals, since your primary goal as Zerg is to have 16 workers on minerals. Gas is important, but once you have over 1,000 gas, you really can't spend all that gas unless you're going for mid-tier units, and unless you have the mineral to back it up. So pretty much, if you ever find your gas count higher than your mineral count, then what you want to do is you want to transfer those gas drones to your mineral line and make sure that it's saturated.
Okay.
Yep.
Game resumed.
So right here,
Game paused.
let's see. I see that that his army is relatively big with Colossi. Did you know that he had Colossi at this point?
Oh yeah, yeah. When it was shooting at me.
Okay, and let's see.
Game
What?
Yeah, and
resumed.
Yeah. What kind of unit comp are you going for?
um, that Zergling, Roach, and Hydra, and since I saw the bosses, I was going for Vipers
Hmm,
instead of the Corruptors.
gotcha.
I think I was trying to use Vipers for the first time instead of always going Corruptor.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Vipers are actually a lot better than Corruptors, but only if you can use them properly. So
Yeah,
so like sometimes if you're not used to them, then it's better to go Corruptor, even though it's not as good, but it definitely gets the job done.
yeah. You'll see the biggest fail today with my Vipers.
Yeah, so it looks like his his army's all the way over there, and you're attacking him over here, which is good. But then he teleports his entire army over here, and okay, you're forced to back off. So no major fails yet.
Mhm.
Let's go and speed things up and see what's going on. Let's see. So I noticed that your third base isn't saturated.
Game paused.
Did you notice this or
um, I believe not.
uh,
Yeah.
and also I noticed that your main is running out of minerals and you don't have a fourth up, so this could be costly. But since you're floating so much minerals, it doesn't really matter too much since you can just build a fourth. But at around the 15 to 20 minute mark, you really want to be making sure that your fourth goes up, simply because your main will get mined out by now, and so it's really nice to just be able to just transfer it over and then just don't worry about it anymore.
Uh,
Yeah,
Game resumed.
yeah. Yeah. I just had my fourth up, realizing that it was mining out in my main.
gotcha.
Yeah, over here I was looking for another attack, but I didn't see this army moving towards my base. These are my Vipers.
I actually didn't catch the
Game
the what
paused.
happened to the Vipers since the game lagged a little bit, but did the Vipers
Okay.
just run in?
Um, no, I initiated the drag thing, but it all got feedback.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the biggest issue here is gonna engage the Protoss Death Ball with mostly Ling Hydra Roach, and that's not gonna end well. So um let's see, let's go back to the mid game here.
Game resumed.
So basically, once Protoss
Game
gets
paused.
both High Templar and Colossi, you're gonna have a really tough time unless you can rush out Ultralists. Because those units are the only unit that takes very little damage from Colossi, little damage from Sonic Storm, and they melt Zealots and Stalkers. But until then, I mean like I think
Game
that
resumed.
like let's see at around let's see so so
Game paused.
at at around here, you mostly had a Roach Hydra Ling composition versus his mid game toss. But wait, actually, he has High Temple already. So right here, since most of your army is these low tier units, I think that you should have tried to catch him, um, walking towards your base, and then try to trade with him. So, sacrifice these units in favor of taking up to Ultra, since you obviously have the gas count, um, and you have the minerals to produce Ultralists at this point.
Hmm.
So I think that if you would have transitioned from this low tier comp to a high tier comp, then you would have had a better chance of winning. But at this point, I mean, even with Vipers, this comp is really weak versus the Protoss Death Ball.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Game resumed.
Even if
Yeah, late game, I mean, you really can't do
Game
anything versus
paused.
feedback because I mean, once the Protoss sees your Vipers, they'll just do feedback and then it's done. So the only true viable counters is Ultras and Brood Lords, which is pretty late tier. Let's see if you have your hive yet. So almost. Yeah. So you really want to get a hive pretty early if you let the Protoss have triple bases. As soon as you see the Protoss get triple bases, just hive. Um, make sure you have the gas, and then just use high tier units because roaches and hydras and lings don't really work versus the Protoss death ball. They work in conjunction with ultras, and brood lords, but if you have 181 out of 200, with this comp, it's never gonna end well.
hmm. Yeah, I never really switched my tech.
Yeah, switching tech is pretty important. Do you usually calculate when to get a hive, or do you just get it like whenever?
Um, I only get it when I feel comfortable that I have time.
Uh,
If I feel really pressured, I go into anxiety and just keep making units.
oh, I see. Yeah, I noticed that your minerals and gas were consistently high. Let's see. So let's go ahead and go on to the 6 points. Six tips to help you better your gameplay.
Hmm.
Point one. Yeah. So your minerals and gas were pretty high. So what this means is that you really need to spend gas to tank up. So I mean, it's okay to get hive pretty early, um, you know, because you're not spending that gas on anything else. So like as soon as you hit lair, go ahead and build all those tech buildings and take up to Hive.
Hmm.
I do notice that your upgrades are pretty good, so I keep at that. Okay. Point number two. Try to get your third a lot sooner versus Protoss. Um, because I think that part of the reason why you lost was because you were on even ground with the Protoss for such a long time, and Zerg never wants to be two base versus Protoss two base. So I think that if you would have expanded, at the 410 mark, um, with a third, I think that your drone production would have superseded the Protosses, since the Protoss player was playing really passively. So basically, uh, get a third down, toss a spine crawler, and toss a spore crawler, and then call it a day. Just make sure to saturate all of them as soon as you can.
Hmm.
Point number three. Let's see. Point number three. Make sure to not be afraid to lose units in favor of high tier units. Um, I don't know if you watch pro level games, but at the grandmaster level, after the 15-minute mark, you don't really see those lower tier units anymore. The Protoss usually has Dark Templars, Archons, Colossi, um, and um, and High Templar and Void Rays, and the Zerg has Ultralists, Infestors, Broodlords, and so you definitely want to be trading units with your opponent, and then trying to get those late tier units, because because at the platinum level, most players will just stick to Roach Hydra or Zealot Stalker, blah blah. But you really want to transition properly. So what that means is, as soon as you get over 500 gas, let's say, just keep taking up and keep on building those high tech buildings.
Gotcha.
Number four, make sure to saturate your bases. I notice that sometimes, especially when you're building buildings such as spine crawlers and spore crawlers, you make it so that it's only like 13 mining or 14 mining. How to counteract this is, as soon as you build a tech building, make sure to build the drone right away. Um, and and one tip to also help that is instead of saturating at 16, you saturate at 18. So what that means is that, even if you're forced to build one or two tech structures or defense structures, you're never dipping below 16, and and that'll allow for much better um, minerals coming in.
Hmm.
So always always have 16 mining, period. Okay. Number five, or wait, was this not number four, or
It's number five now.
okay, number five now. Number five, delay your gas versus Protoss, since you don't really need that gas early. And if you find that your gas count is too high, then don't be afraid to transfer, probes from gas onto minerals. If you find that your gas is getting out of control. Um, I noticed that a lot of players, especially in the lower leagues, don't really want to get drones off of gas once they have an extractor up. But your main goal is to saturate your minerals first, and then your gas second, because without minerals, your your army supply will be lower. Without gas, your tech will be lower. But I mean, StarCraft is all about making units and macroing. So always prioritize minerals always prioritize minerals over gas unless um, you really need to take up. At which point you want gas, but you always want minerals because the person with the greater mineral, um, the greater minerals mine usually wins the game. Okay, and number six. Let's see. Number six, I noticed that you don't really scout your opponent too much. So what I'd recommend is your first overlord, put it to the left of their natural, and then check if they're expanding. And then your second overlord, put it um, to your natural to check if they're cannon rushing you or bunker rushing you or whatnot. And your third overlord should be right next to their base. And then put a mental note saying that at around 7 minutes, I go ahead and sacrifice that overlord. And so like what you're gonna find is versus Protoss, you can react much better. I mean, sometimes you fly in, you see two stargates, and you're like, oh shit, he's going air. So you try to counter that. Sometimes you see seven warp gates, which means he's going for a two base all in. Um,
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't see anything, so that raises a red flag. So you really want to know what your opponent's up to at all times. And also, um, so like how I told you to scout their natural with your first overlord.
Mhm.
Um, if by mid game you see that both gases are taken, this means that they're taking up and that they're probably gonna expand behind that. If you see that the gases at their expo has not been taken, this means that they're gonna two base all in you, and so you should prepare for a huge push out by the Protoss at around the 9 to 10 minute mark.
I see.
And that's with proper timings. If they don't do it accurately, then maybe 10 to 12 minutes. But yeah, definitely if you don't see gas at the natural, then it's definitely going to be a huge push.
Right. Gotcha.
Yep, yep. All right. Well, that concludes our cast. Let's see. If you found this cast to be helpful, it would be really awesome if you could go ahead and leave us a review on nerdupgrades.com. It would really help us out.
Mhm.
And did you have any closing questions or comments?
Um. Nah. No, I don't have anything more. Just thanks for doing this for me, even
Sure,
though it's
sure.
pretty late.
Sure, sure. Not a problem. All right. Well, once again, my name is Sharp Eyes, and until next time, keep on playing.
Yeah.